Chào mừng tất cả các bạn. Tôi tên Phan Minh Tâm. Oh, sorry, wrong language. Welcome everyone. My name is Therese Phan and I will be presenting about Condyloma acuminata, or genital warts. So there are over 100 types of HPV. The most common types are HPV 6, 11, 16, and 18. All of these types of HPV have a symptom of genital warts, but the most common are 6 and 11, and because of the genetics differences of it. And HPV 6 and 11 are low risk, and HPV 16 and 18 are more associated with cervical cancer, as you can see here, and they are high risk viruses. The infectious agent. So the formal name of HPV is human papillomavirus. The family is Popova, the genus is Papaviridae, and there are two subtypes of HPV that I said before, and they are 6 and 11. The characteristics of genital warts. It is a virus, it is double-stranded DNA, it has an icosahedral shape shown here in these two pictures, and it is gram-negative, and its size is from 52 to 55 nanometers, which is pretty small for a virus. So here you can see a picture of the Condyloma acuminatum, and here is a more graphic picture of the vagina with a lot of warts on it. You can notice the bulbous shape on it. It has a cauliflower texture to it, and it can come in smaller patches or stay like so, but it can also spread throughout the genital regions. It could spread like throughout the whole entire genital region area. And the wart can last up to 3 to 8 months. So the time of infection to the time of growth of warts varies. So you might be infected one day, and then 2 weeks later you will have the wart, or 3 to 8 months later you'll have the wart. Condylomas are benign lesions that can occur when expression in HPV proteins increases the frequency of basal cell replication and disrupts maturation of the squamous epithelial layer. All layers above the basal cells proliferate, leading to hyperplasia and an upwelling of the basement membrane. So here there's a picture, a diagram of the pathogenesis of the HPV virus. So the life cycle of HPV begins with the infection of the epithelial basal cells, shown here. So the HPV virus will enter through the skin, through a lesion, and end up in the basal cell. Following the infection and the coating of the viral capsid, the viral genome transports itself into the nucleus, where it exists as an episome. Expression of viral early proteins results on proliferation and lateral expansion of basal cells. Following the movement of infected basal cells into the suprabasal layer, late viral genes are expressed while earlier gene expression are shut off, and the structural proteins L1 and L2 form. In the stratum corneum, viral particles are assembled and released with the shedding of mature epithelial cells, shown over here. And these infectious basal particles are then able to infect other basal cells. So for transmission, there are two main types of transmission. There is sexual transmission through the entry routes of mouth, anus, urethra, vagina, and labia mucosa, etc., just anal, oral, or vaginal sex. And non-sexual transmission, which is vertical transmission. Vertical transmission is when the mother has genital warts on her vagina and labia mucosa area, and when she gives birth to her child, then she will have, the child will then contract the infection. And another route is autoinclination, is when just a person is injected with the virus. So for treatment. So there are two main types of treatment, grade A and grade B. Grade A is bought in store, so you could just go to CVS or your local pharmacy and buy this treatment options. The first one and the most common is called polyphylotoxin. It is a purified extract of the polyphyllum plant, which binds to cellular microtubules, inhibits mitotic division, and induces necrosis of warts that is a maximal to 3 to 5 days after administration. This treatment is thought to be safe, effective, and can be self-administered. It is available as a solution, cream, or gel. Another grade A treatment is imiquimod. Imiquimod cream is a patient-applied topical immunomodulatory agent which first received its indication for the treatment of external condyloma acuminatum in 1997. It is believed to activate immune cells by binding to the membrane's toll-like receptors. And the next grade A treatment is Sinetiquins. Sinetiquins ointment is a botanical extract for the treatment of genital warts, making it the first botanical extract to officially receive medical approval. It is from green tea extract, and within this extract is a Sinetiquins, whatever. It is thought to modulate inflammatory response through the inhibition of transcription factors. They have been shown to downregulate the expression of cyclooxygenase, which has been linked to activation of the prostaglandin E2 system and subsequent epithelial dysplasia.
Trời ơi, Tâm ơi, mày có xuống ăn cơm không hả con?
Con không ăn được mẹ ơi, con đang học bài.
Okay, mine.
I'm sorry, my mom. Okay, where are we at? Oh, on with grade B treatment. There is a thing called trichloric acetic acid solution. It is a chemically destructive acid that burns, cauterizes, and erodes the skin and mucosa. TCA is inexpensive, cost-effective treatment that does require prolonged usage and regimen adherence. This destructive nature of the product frequently extends beyond the superficial wart to encompass the underlying viral infection. A next treatment is called cryotherapy. It is a process in which the abnormal tissue is frozen through the use of a cooling agent such as nitrous oxide or liquid nitrogen. The next type of treatment for grade B is electrosurgery. Electrosurgery involves the use of high-frequency electrical currents in the form of thermal coagulation of electrocautery to burn and destroy warty lesions. Surgical scissor excision is one of the most primal and oldest documented treatments for the removal of genital warts. Surgical excision was considered for many years to be primary available option. This treatment option is still suitable for very large lesions that may be causing obstruction and are ineligible to other forms of treatment. So finally, the prevention of HPV virus. There are 2 FDA-approved vaccines, such as Gardasil, and this was approved by the FDA in the summer of 2006. It was the first HPV vaccine, and this recombinant quadrivalent vaccine was intended for the prophylactic treatments of girls and young women 9 through 26 years of age. HPV-4 is another name for Gardasil. Is indicated by the prevention of precancerous or dysplasic lesions caused by HPV 6, 11, 16, and 18. Gardasil triggers the formation of host antibodies to the HPV subtypes, which are directly responsible for the approximately 90% of genital warts. Its long-term follow-up studies have confirmed the ongoing protective effect of Gardasil to 5 years post-vaccination, with no evidence of waning immunity. In fact, the main drawback of HPV-4 is arguably the cost, which is known to be quite high and can pose a significant strain on public-private finances. In 2009, FDA expanded the therapeutic use of HPV-4 in the reception of genital warts, including boys and young men between the ages of 9 and 26 years of age. This vaccine is not meant for pregnant women, and it's not meant for those with a yeast allergy, because in Gardasil 1 and Gardasil 9, there is a yeast inside of the vaccine, so if you're allergic to it, you won't be able to have the virus. There is a decrease in immunization of the HPV vaccine, though, sadly, which leads to a steady decrease in cervical cancer. So not a lot of people actually receive this vaccine, but the ones that do showed a decrease in genital warts and cervical cancer. But the people that are vaccinated have a 64% decrease in HPV cases since the vaccine was approved. There is a recommendation for girls and boys to have the vaccine when they are 11 to 12 years of age, before they are theoretically sexually active, or as a prevention band-aid to protect one from genital warts or cervical cancer. Another vaccine is Cervarix. FDA licensed a recombinant bivalent HPV vaccine for use in females ages through 10 through 25 years of age. Cervarix is directed against two oncogenic types, HPV 16 and 18, which are associated with cervical cancer. The future, here's just data about the HPV vaccine and its effect on the cases, as you can see. And the future outlook, being aware of your partners and the amount of partners you have chastity and be safe. If, it says on CDC that if you are sexually active, to just be sexually active with one partner and know that that partner didn't have sex with anyone else, because HPV is one of the most diagnosed, highly diagnosed STI in the world and in the United States. Here are my references. So thank you guys all for watching. We're gonna have a dance party. What is it?